wanted to ask you about one other thing, because this was in a private conversation between us over Zaha. Because you WhatsApped me this week, and you said Zaha is better than Marcus Rashford. I need you to unpack that for me. I need you to unpack it.
Well, it's pretty easy to unpack, isn't it? Technical ability is light years clear of him. Pretty simple. Marcus Rashford is useless. Yeah, he might stat pad and go on purple patches. And you were talking earlier about purple patches, Scott McTominay. Yeah, Marcus Rashford goes on purple patches that lead into next to nothing every season. Yeah, oh, but he'll go on a purple. Oh, yeah, look at Rashford. Oh, look, he gets Player of the Month award. Well done, whoopee. Wilfried Zaha is a better footballer than Marcus Rashford will ever be. And I'm not even saying I put Zaha up there because I don't even rate him that highly. And people that, again, watch my channel on a regular basis know I do not even rate Zaha that highly. But he's a better footballer than Marcus Rashford.
But he isn't, though, is he? Like, your preference may suggest that. But when you say that Rashford's goals have led to nothing, you know, Rashford has more goals, more assists than Zaha, and has won 4, and those goals and assists have led to 4 major trophies in his career versus none of Zaha. So when you say Rashford's goals lead to nothing, those goals have come in runs of won 2 League Cups, an FA Cup, and the Europa League.
That's what nothing in most seasons, is what I said. Okay,
so but again, so four trophies is what's come from Rashford's goals and assists, and you say that trophies are the epitome; they're what we're all in football for. So Rashford won 4 versus 0, has more goals and assists in the area. You say Zaha's better. I even had a look at some of the other statistics you could look at. So pass completion, dribble rate, success,
cool. How many trophies has Johnny Evans got?
And everything else, right?
That's great.
And,
I don't look at stats, Terry.
Rashford, again, statistically speaking, Rashford outstrips him in everything. Dribbles, pass completion. This is the last 2 seasons as an example. Even when Rashford's having a terrible season, it's still been better than him. So when it comes to stats, Rashford outclasses him. When it comes to consistency of outputs and delivery in games, Rashford beats him. When it comes to winning trophies, which is you say is most important, is him. The only thing Zaha has over him is what you prefer to watch as a football player in terms
of. Let's go back to what you said earlier about Jadon Sancho is better than Marcus Rashford. Now compare the two.
Yeah,
so,
again,
on your basis alone, not what you said an hour ago.
I'll respond to that perfectly. Jadon Sancho definitely has better ability than Marcus Rashford, but Marcus Rashford is a better professional football player. Having great ability and great technique.
Zaha's got more ability than Marcus Rashford.
But that doesn't make you a better football player, because I actually think, listen, there's some freestyle footballers and people like Jeremy Lynch and these guys on technical ability. When you watch them move and play with a ball, are out of this world. But they are not better. They're not better professional football players than people currently playing in the Conference League North, because they're not good enough to be there. There's a difference between technical ability and a professional football player. There's probably people that play Sunday League. Some of them will probably have maybe Saturday League and County League football, who have better technical ability than some Premier League football players, but they're not better professional football players. There are some boxers who have better boxing technique. Derek Chisora, we've spoken about him before. There are probably Olympic boxers at heavyweight division that are technically better boxers than him, but they couldn't beat him in a boxing fight, a pro boxing fight. There is a difference here. So for me, I get what you're saying. And this is the thing for me. For years, people have said how good Zaha is. That's why Saudi wanted him and Galatasaray. If he was as good as everybody says, the PSGs and the Bayern Munichs and the Barcelonas would have wanted him. And none of them even sniffed. He went to Galatasaray. If Rashford was available now on the market, some of the biggest teams in Europe would want to buy him. So to say that Zaha's better because of a technical ability, it's not how football has ever been and ever will be judged, in my opinion.
I just said he's got more ability. He's a better player. He's got more ability.
He's not a better player.
Well, it depends what you class as a better player and what I class as a better player, doesn't it? Because he is a better footballer, Terry.
Let me ask you a quick. How can you class somebody who as an attacker, scores less, assists less, dribbles less, creates less, is less consistent, and wins less? How can that be better than the other person?
He's got more ability than him, Terry.
But his ability doesn't. He's okay. Fine.
Terry, hold on a second.
If his ability leads to less output, less consistency, less trophies, how is he better?
Okay. Would you say? Let me compare a couple of Man United players over the years, then. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Right. Would you say Johnny Evans is better than Lisandro Martinez? Because Johnny Evans has got less ability than Martinez, but he's won a shed ton more.
Okay, I'll answer
So
that for
on
you.
that basis alone,
I know. No, I'll answer that. Let me answer. Let me answer the question before you say that.
Give you context to my question. Right?
I get the context, Lee. I get the context.
Right, well, so do I.
Johnny Evans. I get the context. Johnny Evans.
Carry on.
Johnny Evans wasn't influential in those trophies he won. It was Vidic and Rio that were the mainstay centre backs in the Champions Leagues and Premier Leagues that Johnny Evans has trophies for. So the difference is this: if the question was who's better, Rio Ferdinand or Sandro, there's no doubt about it. But somebody that was a backup centre back versus someone now who's playing as a full-time centre back is different. However, Johnny's achievements are better. But Johnny Evans, whether we had him in our squad or not, we would have still won those trophies. So for me, it's a false equivalence.
Okay, well, let's use Mike Smalling then. Mike Smalling, yeah, is he a better centre back, yeah, than Lisandro Martinez? Or
again, Chris Smalling is exactly the same example as Johnny Evans at Manchester United.
He was playing for Man United. Hang
on. Exactly. He was, when we were winning those major trophies, Chris Smalling was a backup to the main two centre backs. So again, it's a false equivalence.
Well, it's not really, is it? Because if you actually go through their careers and actually look how many games they played for Man United, you can't call them backup centre backs, can you?
Okay, but again, no, I can call them backup centre backs when the seasons where a lot of their games came was from the summer of.
Doesn't matter where their games came. It doesn't matter. Terry. They still played them games.
Let me explain. No, let me explain. Let me explain why it does. You're going to do yourself here. Let me just explain it rather than saying what you said. Of course, it matters when the games came. The vast majority of the starts and the game time they had came after Fergie retired when we stopped winning the trophies. When the Vidics and the Rios left. When we were winning, so when you look at their trophies they've got at the club, barring the FA Cup that Smalling won under LVG, and I'm not sure if he was still at the club when we won the Europa League and that the year later, but he might have been on the bench. Those guys weren't playing. Johnny Evans had already gone. So in the 3-year period where we stopped challenging, that's when they were starting loads of games. Prior to that, they only ever really played if Rio or Vidic were injured, and it was a team around them. They were not. Smalling and Johnny Evans were not key influential players in us winning trophies. So it's a false equivalence, like I said.
Well, they are key. Everybody, Pascal Segan was key in us going invincible.
Would you? So you think
he hardly played?
So do you think Pascal Segan, without him, you guys wouldn't have won the league that year?
Well, we'll never know, will we?
So you think Pascal Segan? So why is Pascal Segan not on that ball behind you? Hang on. You saying that Pascal Segan is as good as like the Sol Campbells? Is that what you're saying? Was influential?
I'm just saying exactly what you said. You're saying that a non-instrumental player in that team that only plays here and there, and the subs appearances and comes on when the player's injured and stuff like that is not instrumental to winning a trophy. Yeah, but that makes no sense then, because if that's the case, yeah, Pascal Segan was instrumental in us being invincible then, wasn't he?
Again, I don't think he was influential. I think he played a part, but I don't think he's a key component.
How much part do you think he played in that season?
How many? I would be staggered if he started more than 10 league games.
Well, he featured in 18.
Okay, started is what I said.
I have no idea on the stars. I'll have to check it. But he featured in 18.
So
hold on. He featured in 18, which is nearly half the season. Yeah. I don't know how many starts that was because we had Sol Campbell and Kolo Touré there. Yeah. So again, he was influential and a big part of us winning invincible season.
Hey, listen, if you
featured in 18 games, but he weren't a mainstay in the team, was he?
Lee, if you think if you think Pascal Segan was influential when you winning the Invincibles,
Terry.
That's what you hang on. That's what you just said. If you think he's
featured in 18 games,
think he's invincible,
yes.
If you think he is a key influencer in you doing the invincible season, then you believe that.
He featured in 18, nearly half of the games in the season.
If you listen,
Johnny Evans
we'll agree on
it. Of you winning trophies.
If you think Pascal Segan is on par with Sol Campbell in terms of how influential he was,
don't change the narrative now. I've never said that. What I've said is he was influential because he played 18 games that season or was involved in 18. So
cool.
No, because you're changing it now. You said that Johnny Evans, the games that he played, he was coming in for Rio or Vidic and this and that.
It wasn't a mainstay, no.
No, neither was Pascal Segan. But they still helped win trophies, didn't they? So they were part of the squad and they were influential, but they weren't a mainstay. Which is what I said about Johnny Evans.
Fine. So if in terms of that, on terms of that, so you think that Luke Chadwick was influential for Man United when he won Premier Leagues?
How many games he played? How many games did Luke Chadwick play for Man United?
Let's just go and have a look. Because again, I just trying to understand your logic here, as opposed to I don't want to disagree with you. I just want to understand it. So in the seasons where he won the Premier League at Man United, he played 22 games.
There you go. He's influential then, isn't he?
Okay, fair enough. Just
if,
as long
he's featured if he's featured in a 38-game season 22 times, he's influential, isn't he? If he's featured in 2, you can't really say he's influenced anything unless he's scored or you've kept a clean sheet, because he was a midfielder, wasn't he? So helping keep clean sheets. By
the way, with that logic, because he's influential in winning trophies, then Rashford's definitely better than Zaha then.
On trophies, yeah, but I never mentioned trophies in the text I sent you. I don't know why we're here.
But you mentioned trophies every week as being the pinnacle. So if a man is influential, if a man's influential in winning trophies for a big club, and the other guy is influential in nothing and hasn't won a dime, and no big club wants him, how can he be better? That's a question you still haven't answered.
Okay, so on that basis, then Matt Letizia was shit. Yeah, is that what we're saying? Because he won nothing.
I'll answer that for you as well. No, thank you. I'll answer that. Matt Letizia on talent and ability and output, by the way, for Southampton was phenomenal. However, what we never saw Matt Letizia do is go to a club that you would advocate this, because this is your mantra, that has the standards of a City in modern day football, or a Chelsea in modern day football, or a Bayern Munich. We never saw Matt Letizia handle that pressure and deliver in those moments. So I don't put Matt Letizia on technical ability. Yes, he's there with everybody, but I don't put him anywhere near the top players in the Premier League era, because I didn't see him tested in title races, big Champions League nights, home and away. We saw Robert Pires. We saw Ryan Giggs. We saw David Beckham, Ronaldo, Mo Salah. We've seen all these guys tested at that level. So I don't put Matt Letizia anywhere near them, because they weren't tested mentally like those other players were. So no,
you can't put Matt Letizia in a GOAT status, but what you can do is say he was an unbelievable footballer. Yeah, unbelievable
technical footballer, but we don't know if he was
better. Hold on, and he's better than a lot of players. Yes, it's different. Yeah, but again, Man United, Crystal Palace is different. Yes, I know Zaha went to United. It didn't work out. We all know why. Yeah, something to do with Moisey.
Can I ask you a question? Would you say technically he's a better football player than Ray Parlour?
Who?
Matt Letizia.
All day long.
Yeah, but for me, I think Ray Parlour proved himself at the highest level of the game. Therefore, as a pro, he was. But there as a pro footballer, I'm siding with him, because I saw him deliver in so many amazing.
That's because you just admitted that Letizia is unbelievably gifted. Well, I think Zaha's unbelievably gifted in comparison to Rashford.
Yes, and I agreed with you, Lee, and I agreed. You can have that. He's technically better. That doesn't make him a better professional football player. Doesn't make him a better footballer because he's technically more gifted. Because football isn't just about your technical gift; it's about everything else that you deliver. So that's all I was really trying to ascertain there. Viewers, make sure you're hitting like buttons, please. Make sure you